I know this is going to make me sound old, but it's the truth. Modern day gaming sucks. For some people, I'm an old head. I hate when younger people call me Unc, but I was born in 1994 and I grew up with the PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64. The way that the gaming industry has changed just in my lifetime is insane, and I always feel bad for the younger generation because they don't know how good we had it. And no, I'm not trying to sound like that guy that's like, well, back in my day, everything was better. With the technology that we have today, video games look better than they ever have before. Loading times are almost non-existent, and the quick resume feature on the Xbox Series X, yes, I'm an Xbox gamer, kill me, is one of the greatest inventions ever. But video games when I was growing up was fun, affordable, and feature heavy. When I think back on a video game like the original Final Fantasy VII, we're talking about a game that came on 3 discs at minimum, 35-40 hours minimum worth of content, and it was $50. A game that came out in 1997 is one of the deepest video games I've ever played. It's weapons, summons, enemies, characters that you could completely miss just because you didn't go down this random path or you didn't select the correct dialogue. And if you're a sports gamer, you're around my age or a little bit older, you already know the Madden and college football games that we were playing 20 years ago is deeper than what we have today. So I'm 32. Madden 06 came out when I think I was going into the 6th grade. Madden today is still missing features from a game that came out 20 years ago. You want to know the best part about video games like the original Final Fantasy VII, the old games that EA would make? A game like Mario 64 had so much stuff to do. The best part about video games back in the day is when you bought it, what you got in the box was the complete game. Today's video games are filled with microtransactions, season passes, and downloadable content. I remember during that Xbox 360 era where DLC was starting to become a thing, because back then I thought it was cool. I was like, wait a minute, you buy a game and then it keeps expanding afterwards? That's pretty cool. But from what we know today, some of these gaming companies have lost their damn minds. And if you're around my age, I'm sure you've heard the joke. To me, it's a little bit of truth in there. But Bethesda opened up Pandora's box when they dropped Elder Scrolls Oblivion in like 06, 07, whatever that was. And they came out with some DLC for some horse armor. They saw that people were stupid enough to buy armor for their horse. And now we see some of the things that we see today. Like, why am I playing Call of Duty and I'm getting killed by Seth Rogen and Beavis and Butthead? And going back to sports games, the sports gamers are the ones that I feel the worst for, but they're so stupid, they know they're getting finessed and they don't care. Then with the addition of loot boxes and card packs, those are complete BS. And then in some cases, they are literally promoting gambling to children. NBA 2K20 had slot machines and roulette wheels for players to unlock stuff. On top of that, in NBA 2K, you need virtual currency to do almost anything. You want an arm sleeve or a headband, you gotta pay for it. You wanna do something simple and fun like play NBA 2K online with your friends spend real life money to make their players better. You're doing it the natural way, you're grinding, but now you're making the team worse and now your friends hate you. And then on top of that, NBA 2K and Take-Two Interactive, their parent company, they greatly reduced the amount of virtual currency that you can earn naturally drastically. They're basically trying to entice you to spend real world money on fake currency. And also back in the day, there was nothing to save a bad video game. We didn't have what we know today as updates. Back in the day, the video game that you bought is going to be the same video game that you play in 10, 20 years from now. And today it's embarrassing how many games are released in a completely broken state. I remember I pre-ordered Mass Effect Andromeda and Cyberpunk 2077. Mass Effect Andromeda wasn't broken necessarily, but I remember I faced a lot of bugs and that was just a terrible game in general. Cyberpunk 2077 was the one that made me for the most part go, I'm never pre-ordering the game again. The state in which Cyberpunk 2077 was released, along with a bunch of other games that released and just straight up don't work, is such a slap in the face to consumers. And it's proof that video game companies, they know their game is not ready to be shipped, but corporate needs money now. These companies today release knowingly broken video games because they have the mindset of, We'll fix it later. Super Mario is widely considered one of the greatest video games of all time. No updates. The old school Call of Duty games, the old school sports games, the RPGs, whatever. No updates. And the reason why I say that is such a slap in the face is because video gaming today is such an expensive hobby that we shouldn't have to deal with that. Back when I was growing up, video games were $50. That's a lot of money back then. And I know you got to take in consideration things like inflation, but also minimum wage and salaries haven't increased that much over my lifetime. And I remember when the Xbox 360 and the PS3 announced that their games were going to be $60, people were talking like the world was going to end. During that console generation, I was still a kid, so I wasn't paying for my video games. So that sucked for my parents. But for me, when I first saw that Killzone 2 trailer at E3, now you know we talking some serious gaming, you know we going deep in the bag when we get a Killzone 2 reference in 2026. But I remember when I saw that Killzone 2 trailer at E3 for the first time, I knew I was witnessing the future. And don't even get me started on that Madden 06 trailer, but when both of those games came out, straight garbage. Then fast forward to today's console generation and we're paying $70 for video games. And don't get me started on all the different versions that companies are releasing. Like you get the base edition, you get the deluxe edition, you get the ultimate edition, you get the anniversary edition. Like why does WWE 2K26 have a version of their game that costs $150? That game better come with a date night with Trish Stratus, but I doubt it. So I don't care what that game comes with. I ain't paying that. And as we all know, GTA 6 announced their prices last week and officially set the new standard with their base game being $80 and the Ultimate Edition being $100. The announcement of the price, the announcement of the two different versions caused a lot of controversy. It caused a lot of conversations online because you have some people that feel like to truly get the full game, you have to pay $100. I kind of see both sides. Now for me, I keep it real. I'm getting the base version. I'm only spending $80 on this game. I do not need cosmetics that bad, especially we don't even know what the cosmetics look like. Now, if the base game comes out and all the customization is like super bare minimum, which in reality, I highly doubt it. Knowing Rockstar and how deep their games usually are, I doubt they would do that. But if the game came out and it was just super bare minimum, that would piss me off. But this conversation goes back to what I was saying earlier when you think back to older games. Like just think about San Andreas. San Andreas came out in 2004. Something even crazier when you think about how long we've waited from GTA 5 to GTA 6. San Andreas came out 2 years after Vice City. But for a game that came out in 2004, still playing today, this game is massive. And it's so much content that's built into what you only paid $50 for. No updates, no downloadable content, no special editions. You had a large map with like 5 completely different areas, a dating system, mini games, flight school, driving school, RPG like stats. Your player could get fat if they ate too much and muscular if they worked out too much. In 2004, you got all that for $50. GTA 6 made us wait, what, 13 years? We also have to pay at least $20 more than the last game we bought. And to play the game, you need hardware, and gaming right now is a premium hobby. If my memory is correct, I bought my Xbox Series X day one for like $500. 6 years later, the same exact console that I have right now, starting in August, I believe is gonna cost $800. Because I have the one with the disc drive. PlayStation raised their prices up a while back, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again. Valve announced their Steam console a while back, which comes in at $1,000, and if my memory is correct, doesn't come with a controller. Everyone is curious about the price of the next generation, where for me, I feel like it's gonna be at least $800 out the gate, which is crazy. We got mass layoffs across the industry. Everything in general is just expensive. At the rate that all of this is going, the video game industry is going to implode on itself, especially with GTA leading the way and making it official. $80 games are the future. That only means that those deluxe versions that y'all like to buy, that's going to start off even more expensive. I don't have kids, but whenever I see stuff like this, I always feel terrible for the parents around the world that's just trying to make it and taking it day by day, because I could not imagine having children and having to pay for all this stuff, especially if you haven't already grabbed a new console. Like, in what world does it make sense that I bought my Xbox day one and it's cheaper for me to have bought my console day one than it is 6 years later? That's a problem. Like, I'm happy that I was born when I was born. I was able to have the experience that I had, because modern day gaming sucks. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things on this channel. I'm curious what you guys think. If you're like me, if you're around my age or a little bit older, do you agree? Are you happy with the life that you already had? Because for me, I've kind of shied away from gaming because I can't pay $70 every time I want a game. Like, the gaming that I do now, I play a lot of my older games, or I'll buy a newer game way down the road when it goes on sale. But also, if you're younger, you only know what you know. Like, how do you feel about the current state of the video game industry? Let me know in the comment section below. Love you guys. As always, remember to tell somebody that you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.